Hey everyone, this is Caly. Thanks so much for being here with me today. We are nearly done with STAMPtember. There are just a few more sets left, and today's collaboration is with Pretty Pink Posh. My love for Pretty Pink Posh goes way back, so I just had to create with this fun coffee friends set. We've got two little friends here at the top with a mug of latte and two straws, and so that's the one I'm going to be using. I stamped my images and now I'm just going to color quickly with some Copic markers. For the hair, I'm going to color it a lot like I do with Christmas trees. I want those strikes and striations and lots of streaks. So I start with the lightest color, go in with the dark to add some streaks, and then I'm going to blend it with a medium shade. I'll do the same thing with the other girl's hair, more a blonde color. So I'll start again with the lightest color, go in with the darkest color, and then blend that out just a tad with the medium shade. Then I'll color the skin, and I'll go back to my traditional method of applying dark first, then medium, then light to blend everything together nicely. So on the hair, we just want a little bit more texture, so I flipped the order of things. I'll go ahead and continue on as I move on to their clothes and the little lattes in their hands. Even though the spaces are smaller, I'm still going to be using 3 markers to blend things. I find that the more markers I use, the easier it is to blend. But if you only have 2 markers, of course, you're still going to be able to achieve similar results. You just need to work a little bit harder at it. And if you're having a hard time blending, you can always use the tip-to-tip technique and draw out some of that dark ink onto the light marker and then blend that way. I did that earlier this month on the Pink and Main STAMPtember video that I shared. So check back on that video if you want to see how that technique works out. Alright, so I'm done coloring and now I'm just fussy cutting all of the images. Dies are an option, so if they are important to you, be sure to grab that set before it sells out. The die and stamp sets always seem to sell out before the single stamp sets do. Now that I'm done fussy cutting my images, I'm just going to go over the images with some gel highlights. And then for this little mug, I wanted a space for the straws to tuck into. So I'm using a little cutting mat as well as a craft knife to cut a slit at the top of that latte. And then we could just slide in the straws. And I'm not too worried about adhering it down right now. We're going to use some foam adhesive later, and that's going to hold the straws in place. Okay, so for the background, on the stamp set, there were lots of latte images, and I think it would be really fun to stamp your own background or color your own background, but I'm making it easy on myself for this card. I'm using some Doodlebug Designs patterned paper, and I'm going to create a little pennant. I have this strip that I cut to the size that I want for my pennant, and then I marked it halfway across the top, and I'm just going to draw a little line. You can make it the exact height of the fishtail that you want, but I'm just going to cut from the corner to the line, and I'm not going to be too exact about it. It is important to cut it to that exact point from the other side as well. So you have an easy fishtail pennant here that we've created, and then I'm going to adhere that directly to that background panel that I used. Both of these pieces of paper are from the Doodlebug Designs Made with Love paper pad. They have some adorable paper pads, and I just love the color schemes. Now for a grounding piece or a focal point for our images, I die cut a circle from some stitch circle dies that I have from Simon Says Stamp. I'm going to adhere that to the center of that pennant, and then I'll adhere my images over that. I'm just going to quickly lay it out first to make sure that it all fits and looks nicely before I adhere it down. I'm going to use some dot tape runner here on the girls. And then for the latte at the center, we're going to finish off with a piece of foam square just to give it some more dimension. I should probably mention that this card was heavily inspired by some projects that I saw on Google. I was Googling coffee latte themed cards, and I ran across 2 cards that were made from a card kit from Simon Says Stamp, and Yana and Wanda Guess had made cards very similar with pennants and banners, and I just thought, oh, that's so cute. So I decided to do the same thing. And they also use patterned paper, which inspired me to make it a little bit easier on myself. So that's where the idea for this card came from, and I just wanted to thank them for their inspiration And now we have stamped our sentiment at the bottom there. Very simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. I didn't emboss it. And then it finishes a quick and simple card using patterned papers and a few of the main images from this stamp set. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to grab your set before it sells out. This is a STAMPtember exclusive, so it won't be sold again once it sells out. Thank you so much for visiting today, and have a great day, everyone. Bye.